Welcome to Leaders on the Rise. I'm Lydia Pierre, founder and CEO of Pierre Branding Group. We help create stories that resonate with audiences to forge unforgettable, unique brand experiences. These stories ultimately become infused with all aspects of the client's branding, thereby turning entrepreneurs into media celebrities by growing their authority and helping them build partnerships with top influencers. We believe that every person has a unique message that can positively impact the world. Stick around to the end of the show. We'll reveal to you how you can be our next guest in 15 to 20 minutes. Let's go. Hello there. Welcome to Leaders on the Rise. My name is Lydia Pierre, and I am your host here with John Gardiner, who is the author of 3 Secrets of Business Success. Hey, John, how are you doing?
I'm just sensational. Thanks. And thanks for having me on the show. It's really an honor to be here.
Well, thank you for being here. And you're here all the way from Australia.
Yeah. It's 5 o'clock in the morning here.
Wow. So for you to be able to be here with us, and it's 3 o'clock here right now at the time of this recording. So for you to be up at this time, we thank you so much.
It's kind of dark out there, Lydia. Yeah.
Is it? What's the weather like in Australia?
Where I am, it's a bit rainy at the moment, but it's just beautiful here. And I live in Brisbane, and we just don't get cold. We don't get hot. You know, I think our Brisbane winter is on the 24th of July, between about 1 and 3 in the morning. You know, that's about winter for us. The rest of the time, it's just like your version of sort of 70s and 80s in terms of temperature.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, then I definitely have to come to Australia.
Oh, yeah, you got to come up. You'd be a big hit in Australia.
Oh, I know it. I can't wait. I'm going to make that happen. That's on my list of to-dos.
Excellent.
Yeah. So, John, tell us about yourself. Tell us how you got started, who you are, your background. I know you were a lead singer of a band back in the day as well.
Yeah, that was great fun. They're still trying to get the smile off my face over those 4 years. It was just brilliant. It was just so much fun. But I realized that the music industry wasn't for me, and I started in a corporate position working in shopping centers. And I basically spent about 25 years in shopping centers, just marketing, managing, and leasing shopping centers. And then in 1984, started my own business, which was leasing shopping centers, and did that for about 9 years. And I've been looking at retail, and I thought, I can do this. And so we bought this sort of rundown old shop in a tourist area just north of here, about an hour north of here, called Mooloolaba. And try getting your tongue around that, by the way. And anyway, we were lucky enough to be able to double its turnover and triple its gross profit. And then we built another 2. And out of 3 little 30 square metre or 300 square foot shops, little holes in the wall in shopping centres, we were able to turn over about $1 million a year in sunglasses. And it was an amazing business. But then again, Lydia, retail in the 90s was just fabulous because it was the only show in town. If you wanted something, you had to go to the shop. And so it was a very profitable but in the late 90s, I saw the internet coming, and I thought, well, this is going to be trouble for retail. So I ended up starting up a couple of IT. We sold the shops, and I started up a couple of IT businesses. And one we did very well, and we sold that in the dot-com boom. And one I totally did my shirt, and that is chapter 3 of the book. It was an $80,000 loss, and in the year 2000, that was a lot of money. And then we got out of that with our with our tail between our legs, and then started a global distribution business, which I've had for over 20 years. But the subject of this interview is the book called The 3 Secrets of Business Success. And after I've had 38 years in small and medium-sized business now. And after all that time, I thought, well, actually, I didn't even write a book, Lydia. When we got back to Brisbane from the coastal area, I started writing articles to LinkedIn. And after writing
Okay.
24 of them, ended up with about 4,500 followers and about 4,500 first level connections and about 6,000 followers. I thought, maybe if I just put all those into one thing, it might
Yeah.
help a whole stack of people. And that's how the book ended up.
Oh, wow. Wow. So it actually you kind of stumbled upon the book in a sense, because you
Yeah.
were essentially trying to share information and share content and just kind of help people who are out there. And then once you saw the traffic you were getting from that, you were like, hey, I have something here.
Well, yeah, that's exactly right. And you know what? When I started, I gave it away. I just gave it to people who needed it. But what I found something really interesting that I guess I was aware of, but I hadn't really experienced that much, is that if you give something away, it rarely gets read or gets used because people put no value on it. But if people pay for something, there's a pretty good chance that they'll either read it or use it because they've paid for it. And so I started charging for the book. It's not expensive. I mean, it's on. It's about $12 US from the website and about $10 US from Amazon. It's a different version, but it's not as hasn't got as many bells and whistles
Okay.
on Amazon. But it's the information is there, the content is there.
That's amazing. And they can get it on the website at 3secretsofbusiness.com.
Yeah, the number 3, secretsofbusiness.com. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. So when it came to writing the book or putting the book together, should I say, what is it about the book that you feel got everyone so excited about getting that information and getting that content that got them to start following you?
Okay, look, I guess the fact that I had all those years of business experience attracted them to me. But mainly is because it's not a long book. It's 76 pages cover to cover. Okay? So it's a 300-page book without the padding, or what we call in Australia the waffle. All right, not what you eat, but what sort of pad things out. And it's just direct. And I guess I was doing an interview the other day, and somebody said, "What is your superpower?" And I thought, well, I sold my cape, and I don't wear my undies on the outside of my trousers anymore. But my superpower is to actually simplify things and get things into a readable but very short version. And that's what this book is. It's a very, very quick read. But most of the people who've read the book and who have used it have actually, it's a digital download, obviously, from Amazon or whatever, but they've printed it out and actually make notations and they go back to it. And the reason is that, let's say that you wanted to play tennis, okay? You've seen it on TV and you've never played it before, so you want to play tennis. Now, you can either just walk on the court and start whacking balls around and you don't know what the rules are.
Right.
And so you'd be wondering, what are those lines for? And what's that funny bit of fishing net across the court there? And what do I do with this racket and ball? But if you learn the fundamentals of tennis, like knowing what the rules are for, what the rules are, and the lines are for, and the net, and what you do with the racket and ball, and you learn to lob and serve and forehand, backhand, etc., you'll be able to play tennis. You'll be able to, and it's the same in business. If you don't learn the fundamentals of business, you're in trouble because you don't actually understand. It's like playing tennis. You could be whacking the ball into the crowd and think, well, I'm doing well, but you're actually not. You're not focused on the fundamentals, and that's where you've got to start in business. You can get tricky later, but if you don't know the fundamentals, you're in big trouble. And that's one of the reasons that there are so many people who fail in business. It's because they just don't understand those fundamentals. And that's what the book is about.
That's amazing. And to see that there's just basically 3, well, you said the book has more than 3 secrets.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
I know it's called 3 Secrets, but you're saying that there's 3 core fundamentals that as long as you know those pieces, then you should be pretty good to go. And those are in the first 3 chapters of the book?
Yeah. Like, for instance, if you put 100 business people, experienced business people in a room, and you ask them one question: what is the true purpose of a business? You know what about 80% of them will say?
What?
To make money. That's the true purpose of a business, okay? And you know what? They're wrong.
Ooh, really? I
Shock
didn't see that
horror.
Coming.
Really,
Right.
that's exactly right, yeah. Now, they're getting confused with, in a sense, they're right, but they're getting confused with their purpose for being in business, which is to make money, or it could be to employ people, or to help the family, or to build a legacy, or build an asset, or have something you can sell. All those reasons to be in business, that they want to be in business. But the true purpose of a business is totally different to that, and that's what's discussed in chapter 1. And I'll tell you the first secret, okay, of business, because your listeners the people who are watching this should be aware of this. And when I tell you this, you'll go, well, yeah, of course. But if you don't, I'll tell you, all right? The true purpose of a business is to help people solve their problems. Now,
absolutely.
And everyone goes, yeah, that's right. But most people are going after the money. And that's one of the reasons that people don't want to know about them, because if they can smell, your customers can smell somebody who's after your money. And after their money, and they will walk on the other side of the street, literally, to you.
Right.
But if you're there to help them solve their problems, all of a sudden, instead of being sort of, doing this and laying back and leaning back and going, I'm not really interested in this, they're leaning forward and they're saying, look, how can we do this together? And that's the attitude that people have got to take into business. Otherwise, they're going to fail. So that's the first secret. By the way, there's a chapter 3 that I actually give away. If they go 3secretsofbusiness.com and /free, they will learn in chapter 3 what I learned, and it cost me $80,000.
Wow.
So that's an $80,000 lesson, absolutely for free.
Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And that's chapter 3 that we would get for free.
Yeah, that's right. It's just www.secretsofbusiness.com /free.
Awesome. And you said that's $80,000 worth of information and resources.
That was in the year 2000. In today's, it'll be a $200,000 mistake.
Wow.
And by the way, I made it twice.
How?
Yeah.
Okay, now you have to explain yourself, John. Explain yourself.
Well, in the startup IT business, I did it twice. I thought, and this was pure ego, Lydia, that drove this. All right, and this is where a lot of people go wrong in business. They go, well, I thought of this, and everybody needs this, and therefore it's a no-brainer.
Right.
People will buy it. But you know what? They might need it, but they don't want it. And that's what we discuss in chapter 3. It's the difference between needs and wants, and it's pivotal to success in business. So I'm giving away all the secrets here, but I don't care, because there's another 12 secrets that people can get out of the book. But the first 3 are so important. Even if people bought the book and all they did was read the first 3 chapters and took notice of that, they've got a really good chance. They've got better than 50-50 chance of being successful. And the stats in the US and Australia and in most of the Western world are about the same. In the first year, around about 30% of people who start up a business will fail. Now, that's just shocking. In the second year, it's up to 50% of people will fail. And between years 3 and 5, another 25% will fail. It's 75% of people who start up a business within the first 5 years are gone. And you know what? The interesting part about this is it's a bit like people and like your health and cancer. People will go through life saying, won't happen to me. I won't get cancer.
Right,
And
right.
people start a business and go, well, it won't happen to me. I won't fail because I've got this terrific widget, or I've got this great idea, or I've got this software or an app. And if they don't understand the fundamentals, they're gone. And look, the worst part, I don't want to get doom and gloomy on you, Lydia, but the worst part is those 30% who fail, or the 50 or the 75%, the collateral damage that emanates from that, the repossessed cars and the repossessed houses and the divorces and the sickness and the mental health and even suicide that come out of that failure is shocking. And if they just learn the fundamentals, they've got a much better chance of being successful.
Absolutely.
Now,
Wow.
by the way, I'm not the only person who talks about the fundamentals, but what I've done is done it in a very simple, very quick to read and quick to understand form. That's what the book is.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And to be able to have all that information in such a concise and almost like a pocketbook, so to speak, in a sense. And being able to have it as a quick resource or a quick reference that you can use. And you're saying, as long as you stick to these fundamentals, you can't fail.
Well, you'd have to be an idiot to fail. As John Wayne said, life is hard, but it's even harder if you're stupid. That's one of the chapters, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah.
I have to read that one. I'm going to definitely read that one.
Definitely.
So tell us about the tour, because you are going to be touring. So you'll be coming all the way from Australia to the States. So tell us about your book tour.
Well, look, I was lucky enough to get an export grant from the Australian government, and they said, look, we like the book, take it over to the US. And so I'm flying into LA in June sometime. I'm not quite sure of the dates yet, but I'm going to be doing a book tour across the northern part of the States because it's summer and I don't want to get cold, across the northern part of the state. So, sort of LA, Seattle and Denver, and then sort of across to Chicago and then across to the East Coast over about 2.5 weeks. And I'll be doing radio and TV interviews and press interviews and cable business shows, and just talking about the fundamentals and talking about just like what we're doing here, only kind of a shortened version of, because you're talking about like an 11-second grab on TV or maybe an interview on a talk show in the US. But it's to promote the book and look, you don't make any money out of books, I can tell you. It's not about the money. It's about getting the message out to people who are looking to start up, or even people who are in the existing businesses, to get the fundamentals right. Remember the tennis analogy. If you just walk on the court and start whacking balls around, you're not going to be successful. You need to know what the rules are in business and how to win. That's the most important part, is actually how to win in business. And if you don't get the fundamentals right, you ain't going to win. That's it.
Right. I mean, it's simple. Like you said, it's really simple. And anybody who tries to make it even more, I mean, we tend to complicate things as humans, don't we?
Oh yeah, we're really good at it. Hey, look, I've got a master's degree in complication. All right. I'm terrific at it. But I was. But as I got older, I started simplifying stuff, because I found if you keep it simple, everyone can understand it and everyone can come on board with it. And that's really what it's about, is people actually engaging in what you're doing. And it's very important in business to actually keep everything so simple so that people can actually understand it. By the way, the second part of the tour is the southern part of the United States, which I'll be doing in September. And I'd love to catch up with you in Atlanta, in Georgia one day.
Absolutely.
If we can go and have a coffee or something, or a drink. And because I'd like to thank you for having me on the show. It's been a real pleasure. It's just terrific. Yeah.
Of course. Well, we're so happy to have you. I mean, definitely. And then for you to be here from Australia, that would be so amazing, just to be able to say we're global in that sense. and we're global, and we're all the way in Australia. So thank you for being that expansion for us in that sense.
My pleasure. Absolutely.
Yes, yes. So what kind of stuff do you do when you're not working? I know you're semi-retired.
Yeah, I'm kind of semi-retired. I look, when I get a chance, I like to chase a little white ball around a golf course, and I do my best to keep the greenkeepers in employment. You know, I dig up the place a fair bit. You know, so they've got to
Absolutely. It's only
replace it.
right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. It's my way of contributing to that cascading of money that goes through the community. I also like to write, and that's good fun. And I've become really passionate about helping people to do it right, to do business right. And in fact, we're writing a course at the moment. A friend of mine and I are writing a course based around the book, to go through and be a part of the business course in parts of Australia. So students come in and they learn not only the theory of business, but they learn the practice from my end of the book. That's the actual practice of business. And so we're expanding that. And I've got a family, and I like to travel. So, you know, that keeps me really well occupied.
Well, that's great. That's great. And for you to be doing that book tour and not only being in the northern part, but the southern part as well, I think that's amazing. And hopefully you get to enjoy your traveling during
Oh,
that
yeah.
time and seeing the world and meeting some amazing people along the way. Because like you said in your story, I mean, mentoring and is kind of what helped you get through some of those tough times, right? As far as mentorship, are you a big proponent of mentorship?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Look, hey, the best golfers in the world have a coach.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like, why wouldn't you have a coach in business? I mean, it's really important. I mean, it's your livelihood. Why wouldn't you take notice of somebody who's done it before and can help you through the bad times and help you to not make the big mistakes? Like we have, Lydia, we have two daughters. They're beautiful girls. And we said to them when they were, you know, teenagers, look, you're going to make thousands of mistakes in your time in life. And our job is to help you to not make the big ones. And a mentor's job in business is to help people in business not make the big ones. Right. And it's so important. If people don't get that, they shouldn't be in business, really. You know, you got to learn from other people. Otherwise, you're going to have to learn from doing it yourself. And that's expensive in business.
Absolutely. Yes. I mean, that is, and your book alone, with it being $12.99 and $10 on Amazon, that becomes that's a very small investment for such valuable information that can essentially save them thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars.
That's the idea of it, is to stop that flow of people who are failing in business, if possible. Now, you know, as I said, you know, it's hard. Life is hard, but it's harder when you're stupid. If you're stupid about this, you know, you're going to fail anyway. But if you learn the fundamentals and you're half smart, you'll actually you'll realize how simple business is. Business is really simple, and there is a formula to it. You want to hear the formula?
Yes, please.
Okay, this business is simple. You find out what people want, and you show them how to get it. That's it. And you know what? I've had business coaches say, you can't say business is simple. It's very complicated. You've got industrial relations laws and leases and you know, all sorts of things going on. You've got supplier contracts and blah, blah, blah. You know what? You can get people to do that. You know, if you're smart, you don't get your accounting done. You don't do your own law. You don't do your own legal stuff. You get people to do that for you. Okay? And you can get people to do all your HR and all that sort of stuff. If you focus totally, your job is to focus on finding out what people want and showing them how to get it. That's business. That's how you run business, all right? If you can do that, you're way ahead of the game. You really are. Get other people to do all that stuff. Like I have people do email and accounting and all that sort of stuff for me because I don't like it. I really don't. And I'm not good at it. And you've got to recognize what you're good at and what you're not good at. get other people to do the stuff because they love that stuff. Like the person who does my books she gets up in the morning and she just has to do the books. She's passionate about it. She loves it. She wants to get all those numbers lined up and perfect and all that stuff. That's great. That doesn't turn me on at all. So in business, you've got to find out what your strengths are and work on your strengths. Don't try to fix your weaknesses because that's really hard. Life is too short for it to be hard. Just enjoy what you do and get other people to do the other stuff.
Oh, that's genius advice right there.
Well, thank you so much, madam.
That's genius advice. Yes. I mean, and so many people think that in order to develop themselves and become better people, they have to work on their weaknesses. But you're saying to identify your weaknesses and get other people to fill those shoes.
Yeah.
Yes, in the world, in the business world.
Yeah, it's not as well in any world, really. I mean,
right.
But it's not as expensive as people think. People think, well, I can't pay a marketing person. Well, yeah, hang on a second. You only use them when you need them, okay? And like you might set up a social media plan and get somebody to do that for you. Your Google ads and your Facebook marketing and all that sort of stuff. Get somebody who knows all that stuff to do it. It's not as expensive. And if you make the initial investment, if they're good at it, they'll bring business in and you can pay for them. All right. That's the formula sort of thing. You got to get away from the stuff that you don't like because you're not going to be good at it. You just want to be good at what you're good at.
Right. And it sounds so simple. It really does.
It is.
It really does. But it is that simple. It is that simple.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you definitely opened up my eyes during this conversation because there are so many things I love because I love branding. I love helping people to come into their own and see who they are while they're on their journey. And essentially, that's kind of the experience we create for them. So it's not about selling them or anything like that. It's about them getting to know who they are and what their purpose is and being able to walk in that. That's really what we're in it for when it comes to branding, helping people brand themselves. But at the very end of the day, it is about listening to what it is they want and helping them get to that. So essentially, a brand is something that people see and feel and all of that. So figuring out how people want to be seen, how they want to be heard, what impact they want to make, and then helping them get that is essentially what we do here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you're on the right track.
Exactly.
Well done, Lydia.
So thank you for reassuring me and confirming that we are in the right space.
My pleasure. All the way from Australia.
All the way from Australia. So, John, if someone listening wanted to take the next step with you, or maybe even join the tour and such, how would they do that?
Well, I'd love to hear from anyone who has connections in the radio or TV world who think that they would like to have me on their show to talk about the book and talk about the fundamentals of business and anything else that I have a degree of knowledge about. And listen out for me when I'm over there, actually, because I'd love people to connect with me. And I'm on Facebook and LinkedIn and all that sort of stuff. And I'd love to have a conversation with people to talk about business, because that's what I do. I found that the thing that really turns me on, the thing that floats my boat, is helping people to be better than who they are now. And that's my true purpose in life, is to help people to be better at being them. And if I can do a little bit with a lot of people, I'm really happy, or a lot with one person, I'm really happy too. So that's what drives me. As I said to you, I'm 71 years old. I've had 38 years in business, and I'm still going because I wake up every day thinking I'm going to help somebody today, and that really floats my boat.
Oh, that's amazing. And it's such a great experience, a great way to be able to wake up eager to do more and to be in your own business, because you get to make an impact in that space.
Hey, we started at 5 o'clock in the morning. I mean, you've got to be keen, haven't you?
Right. Right. So that definitely speaks to that. So if people want to order the book or want to learn more about what it is that you do, they can go to the number 3 secretsofbusiness.com.
Yep. And if they want the
awesome.
free chapter, it's number 3, secretsofbusiness.com/free. And
Awesome.
I don't need their email or their name or anything like that. It's just, you just get it straight away. You don't have to, sign up to anything or whatever. I'm just happy for people to get the book. By the way, there's something I didn't, and it's on the website, is that if people buy the book and they're not happy and they're not satisfied for any reason, I don't care what the reason is, I guarantee that I will refund their money. I'm so confident that people will enjoy the book and get the message, because it's very simple and very, very, it's simply written so that people can understand it very quickly. But if they don't like it, if they don't think they got value, I'll refund their money happily. Now, that's from the website, not from Amazon. I don't think Amazon like that kind of thing. But if people buy it from the website, then I'm happy to refund their money.
That is amazing. And that is 3secretsofbusiness.com/guarantee. You'll get that information about that guarantee that he has built right into the website. So you go there and you just click the buy now button and buy it from the website in order to be able to get that guarantee, which hopefully you never have to use, because we know it's going to work.
Yeah, exactly. Well, look, it's like I said in the tennis analogy, if you learn the fundamentals, you'll play a decent game of tennis. And if you learn the fundamentals in business, you'll be reasonably successful. And one of the chapters in the book is devoted to learning.
Okay.
And it's really important to not just start in business, but to keep learning about business. And I even suggest to people that if there's an association in your industry or your section of business, then join the association, because like you're doing with people, you can learn so much more from other people, because they've probably been there, done that. And you might have a problem, and you can go to the association and say, hey, guys, this is what I'm going through, and especially with Facebook groups, et cetera, these days.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll have somebody come back and say, hey, this is what I did. I had that problem. This is what I did to fix it. And you don't have to go through the pain then. So if you just keep learning, if you keep focusing on learning as well as doing the business, you'll become really, really good at it. And that's when you become super successful.
That's amazing. And that is so true. And I mean, to be able to drop that gem right at the tail end of the meeting, I mean, that's amazing, because I mean, that's a great way to kind of leave it off, where you can do this. You can be successful. You just have to know the fundamentals and stick to the fundamentals and keep it simple, stupid. KISS, right? Keep it simple, stupid.
Who are you calling stupid?
Thank you so much, John. It was a pleasure having you.
Oh, look, it's been so much fun, Lydia. And I'd love to catch up with you when I'm in the States. It would be just so much fun.
Absolutely, especially when you're here in Atlanta. I can't wait for you to be here.
Sounds
as
good.
part of the book tour, and see any way that we can support or help with that. Please let us know, because we are a branding company, so you never know how we can be able to help get the word out while you are on your way here to us.
That would be fantastic, Lydia. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. You're part of the community now, so.
Oh, I love it.
Yes. Well, thank you so much again, John, for joining us today on Leaders on the Rise. Again, you can find John's information at 3 secrets, that's the number 3, secretsofbusiness.com. And you'll also be able to get his book on the website as well, which is 3 Secrets of Business Success. Thank you so much. And we're so happy that we were able to have you on the show to be able to share these gems. And we look forward to learning more about all the great things you have in store for us.
Oh, look, thank you so much for having me. And thank you to the listeners and the people watching this interview for listening and watching. And I hope you got some value out of it.
Yes, I'm sure they did. Yes, and we'll love to hear about it. So be sure to comment and leave some feedback in regards to the book, especially if you go and get it. Be sure to leave a review on Amazon, as well as you can follow John on LinkedIn as well. So you follow his LinkedIn page and engage and interact, because he loves to be able to communicate with people who are looking for help. That's what he's here for. So be sure to reach out to John, and thank you again. You guys have an amazing time. Take care and see you on the next episode.
Lydia here. Thank you so much for listening to Leaders on the Rise. If you are a successful CEO, founder, C-suite executive, decision maker, successful business leader, or an influential entrepreneur who would like to be on this podcast, please visit pierrebrandinggroup.com/podcast to apply. If you got something out of this interview you would like to share on social media, just do a quick screenshot with your phone and text it to a friend or post it on the socials. If you know someone that would be a great guest, tag them on social media to let them know about the show and include the hashtag Leaders on the Rise. I love seeing your posts and guest suggestions. We are regularly putting out new episodes and content. To make sure you don't miss any episodes, go ahead and subscribe. Your thumbs up, ratings, and reviews go a long way to help promote the show, and they mean so much to me and my team. Want to know more? Go to our website, pierrebrandinggroup.com, or follow me on LinkedIn and Instagram at Lydia Pierre _. Thanks for listening. We will see you next time.